Westford's Christmas tree has a name. It's Denny's tree. And Denny's tree has a story that I'd like to share with you. Denny's tree isn't the first Christmas tree on Westford Common. We have to go back to 1987 to talk about those trees. That was the year that young Mark Jarvis, he was 13 at the time, wrote a letter to the Westford Eagle and said that he thought it would be nice if there were lights on Westford Common to celebrate the Christmas season. And there were 3 trees on the common at that point in time, 2 behind where the bandstand is now and 1 about here. So those were the trees that Mark Jarvis raised the money and used his own savings to buy strings of lights. The garden club helped him out, and the electrical team from the Neshoba Valley Technical High School put electricity on the common. There had not been electricity on the common. So that December of 1988, a year later, Mark Jarvis, with his new friend, Austin Fletcher, who lived across the street from the common, turned on the switch to turn on the Christmas tree lights for the very first time on Westford Common. And those trees survived for over 20 years, almost. And then in 2006, we had an inventory done of all the trees on Westford Common for the Common Restoration Project, and it was found that all 3 were sick. They were losing their branches, they were losing their needles, and they had to come down. What to do for a Christmas tree on Westford Common? Well, at that time, friends of dear Denny McGuire, who had lived in Parker Village all his adult life and had served on the planning board, his friends, in honor of Denny, who died in 2005, said they would buy a new Christmas tree for Westford Common, Denny's tree. That tree was planted on Earth Day of 2008, and the first year that it had Christmas lights on it, when it was about 7 or 8 feet tall, Denny's tree was lights were put on it, and that became Denny's tree's first Christmas. And just as the Girl Scouts were starting to gather to sing Christmas carols and to wait for the lights to go on, some of Denny's friends from Parker Village, Ron and Mary Jo Johnson, Reed and Joanne Albright, arrived at the common with 2 paper bags, and in them were ornaments. They thought that Denny's tree, to be a true Christmas tree for Westford, needed to have ornaments as well as lights. And so they came over and started to hang ornaments on this small Christmas tree. And just then families started to arrive. And one of the mothers, one of those 2 people, turned to a young girl, Sophie Sloan, and asked her if she'd like to put an ornament on Denny's tree, which she did. And then Sophie's friend asked if she could put an ornament on the tree. And that's how the tradition began of having Denny's tree not only lit, but also having Denny's tree decorated by all of the children in Westford. And the very nice finale to this was 30 years after he first flicked the switch in 1998, Mark Jarvis, who still has a landscaping business in Westford, came back to Westford Common, and with the president of the garden club, Mark turned on the lights on Westford Common one more time. Merry Christmas, Westford.